Social media, a platform that transcends barriers. Social media, a platform that connects us all. Social media, a platform that is a gold mine for marketeers. This World Social Media Day, etbrandequity.com celebrates the ever-evolving spirit of social interactions. A report by Hootsuite and We Are Social found that the total social media users is equivalent to 58% of the global population. It also found that almost 1/3 of the total global digital ad spends in 2021 came from social media. This alone highlights the importance of social media in a marketeer's life. In the words of Eric Qualman, the author of Digital Leader, we do not have a choice of whether we do social media. The question is how well we do it. etbrandequity.com spoke with leading marketeers to find out their mantra to conquer social. Here's what they had to say.
The behavior which I want to pick up is that irrespective of my liking for a social media which I have or one which I use, I have to keep a track of what youngsters and my target audience is liking in social media and what they're engaging with, and then work according to that. So, for example, with gray hair comes the disconnect with the younger generation, and that's the biggest concern I have. And if you take a very random survey amongst gray-haired marketeers, you will find that many would not have actually approved of the content which is there on TikTok media. But the fact of the matter is that millions and millions of youngsters are actually engaging with that. So the behavior and the habit as a marketer I have developed is to keep aside my personal likes and dislikes or preferences and dispassionately work towards understanding what youngsters are engaging with, what my TG is engaging with, and then work accordingly.
I love talking about something specific as opposed to generics, right? Let's pick up Twitter. And one of the things we as a brand focus on Twitter in recent times and will continue to do is to just evoke conversations and quite literally hand over the brand to our audience, right? Examples of that are, for example, on World Emoji Day, we literally just said, here's our logo. It's a very simple logo. There's an O, there's a Y, and an O. You can simply replace the two O's with whichever emoji you like. It could be whatever. It could be skiing. It could be snow, anything. And people went bonkers. I mean, we had like 1,000% rise in engagement just on a single tweet.
As a brand, I feel one of the key things that we're going to be adopting, and we've already started working on it, is thinking short format, creating compelling stories, within 10 seconds, because that's the power of social media. If you want to be relevant and if you want to get the attention of people with really less attention span, I think expressing and talking about stories within the 10-second time duration is something that is a habit that we'll start adopting, and I feel that brands are also going to start building on it further.
The potential that video offers is something that I'm very keen to explore. Short video formats have seen an exponential growth in consumer adoption, and that's probably driven by, one is the proliferation of platforms that offer that service, but the other is also by the ease of use of that platform.
I think with so many new social media platforms coming in, the habit should be that test everything out, understand the new ecosystem really well, because every social media platform is very different, and every consumer goes to different platforms for different needs, and test out those platforms for your own brands to understand whether there is some amount of resonance with that audience for the kind of content and the kind of product that you have.
One of the roller coaster rides of managing a brand on various platforms and handing it over to people, or attempting to anyway, in each platform, is that you can't necessarily, control narrative. I was describing a campaign about kids being at home and going nuts. And we asked a simple question on LinkedIn, say, hey, don't you wish, you could go to the office and escape sometimes, from all the madness during summer holidays. And yeah, some people weren't so happy about the questions.
The funny thing is, so we initially used to keep liking our own posts because we used to have so much fun creating that content. And you are your own biggest cheerleader. So we used to go and like each of our posts, and then now we've stopped that. But I think that was one of the embarrassing moments.
For Sugar, I remember a lot of makeup ASMR videos where a lot of makeup crushing, and you watch a lot of things on repeat, things being played with, and a lot of texture. So we wanted to experiment with Sugar as well, and the feedback was very quick. So you can't believe it became very popular as a content piece. But people commenting, they were like, it's breaking our heart. It seems like, really good makeup is being wasted. So we realized that, we had to put out actual disclaimers that we didn't use any new products. Please don't worry, like to make these videos.
There are two things that I hold as principles when a situation that could arise. Number one is as long as you've been genuine and you are true to the values that you've always espoused, you hold fast, right? And what I've experienced is generally that kind of noise that comes usually dies down. Okay. The other evaluation is that we tend to give our users, our consumers, our audiences less credit sometimes. Most of the times they are mature enough to understand that everybody can make mistakes, that there are people behind the brands that they are consuming and or the content that they are consuming, and those people can make mistakes sometimes, and they are usually very forgiving.
I have a 3-prong mantra for this. Brands should stay away from politics, religion, and what I call sex or such innuendos. If you're careful about these things, I think brand would be in fine space. Because we all know that sensitivities have increased in recent times, and brands do have to steer clear of controversies.
Brands need to have common sense nowadays. The second thing I would say is, and more importantly, brands need to continue to build goodwill, love, and understanding on a daily basis, not a campaign to campaign basis. When you do that, the odd faux pas, as it is perceived, or if it's an actual faux pas, tends to get understood, forgiven, and people move on from it.
On Valentine's Day, we had launched a filter, which was an AR filter where you could test out some of our makeup products, and the filter became so massively viral. We thought that it would be a lot of girls having fun, but actually everybody from kids to guys to everyone used it. And I realized the power of gamifying something.
Then this incident happened where Ronaldo replaced the Coke bottle with water during a FIFA conference. And our agency Shebang was so quick enough to come back to us within half an hour with a post where we put Fevicol pack instead of Coke pack and said na pack hatega na valuation ghategi, and that went viral. It happened because Fevicol made the agency understand the brand thoroughly, okay, tonality, values, and the proposition. Then there was an element of trust in the relationship with the agency. We trusted them to come up with the content. And lastly, the decision making was very, very fast. Okay. So within half an hour or 45 minutes, the post was out, and rest, as they say, is history. Know your brand proposition. Second, have consistency in that communication. Just because you want to capitalize on a trend or on an event, you don't have to change what brand says and how it says. The brand personality and the brand language and the brand persona has to be same. Social media put pressures on marketers to do things fast and often. But if you are anchored in the brand proposition rightly and are consistent, you will reap the benefits.
Give an opportunity to digital natives, people born in the world of Meta, YouTube, born with a phone in their hand. I feel they can do a fab job.
If you look at your own behavior on social media, you will find that there's a very simple pattern that will emerge. You either follow or interact with organizations or brands that add value to your life in some way. Now, that value could come from entertainment, education, just aspiration. It's cool to follow, or it could come from just almost being a friend. All of us ultimately would aspire to be a friend on social. If you're not aspiring to be it, you probably should be doing that.
Keep doing great work, because that challenges us to do even better. Always follow what the audience is thinking, doing. There is no greater truth than the audience truth. And understanding your audiences, there's no replacement for understanding what your audience is looking for.
Understand what your brand voice is. Where do you come into your audience's life cycle, and then be there, be present, be extremely consistent, because that is what you require from other people to build trust and credibility, and that is what people require from you.
If content is king, then conversations are the next best thing. In the world of social media, which is criticized to be fake, brands need to be real and authentic in their interactions with their consumers. Thank you for tuning into this video, and we wish you a very happy social media day.